Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. So I'm going to react to the same thing that everybody else is going to react to when they see it. Mark Cuban just got on TV and he was saying this like, kind of like on the fly. It wasn't like he was sitting down with anybody specific. He was just kind of outside of a practice facility or something. And they were asking him some on the fly questions about what's going on. And he made sure that he said that he was happy to bring Kyrie in. He said, they felt like he already had the best ball handler in the league, and Luka Doncic, now he feels like he got the second best ball handler in the league. Uh, that ain't the way to start this. That ain't the way to start this. I respect that you have a pecking order to keep in regards to who's most important in your franchise. Everything is about keeping Luka happy first, second, and third right now. And Kyrie Irving is a guy you likely picked up to just help you get him off, the books. 36 million this summer to help bring him more talent, or even keep in place if it works out. So I know that Mark Cuban doesn't actually care if Kyrie Irving doesn't resign. I know that because he won't send money off the books, and he's traded away a bunch of salary that wouldn't be coming off the books until the following summer. So I know what he's trying to do. But at the same time, it's like, this is why I asked you guys. This is exactly why I asked, is Mark actually intending to allow Kyrie? Is he bringing Kyrie to a situation that he expects Kyrie to succeed in, or is he doing the Brooklyn Nets a favor by bringing him to a situation he's absolutely not going to enjoy? And that's what I'm here to ask. I don't know, because he only has to keep him for the next 6 months. So is he here? Is he here to try to further buck break this dude? Because when statements like that are uttered, I understand that they're not accident. He's trying to establish pecking order, but he made it a point to say second best. You are never going to word it that way. When you're trying to express the importance of a player's attribute, you're never going to word it that way. You're not going to word it that way. You're going to say, we got the other best ball handler in the league. We feel like we got one of the best ball handlers in the league. We got the other best. But when it's understood that this guy is the greatest ball handler in the game, the greatest dribbler of the basketball ever, Luka's handles is nice, does not approach Kyrie's talent level in that way, not in that particular skill. So when you say best ball handler in Luka and then proceed to word it as in the guy you just acquired is the second best when he's actually the greatest at that, when he's actually the greatest at it, and there's no denying that to anyone who really follows the sport very closely and actually knows who this guy is. It's not like we're sitting here saying, gee, who comes close? No, it's probably Jamal Crawford. You know what I'm saying? You start talking about guys that skip to Malu, people outside the NBA in some cases. Allen Iverson, like, you're not mentioning Luka Doncic in that conversation, bro, at all. And don't get it twisted. I think Luka got some fantastic handles. Luka can do some stuff. It ain't like he's not going to put himself in that conversation over time. He's probably the best European ball handler I've ever seen. So it's not like he ain't crazy great at it. But he ain't Kyrie Irving. There are levels to this. And for you to say that you got the best in place and then proceed to mention the guy that you just brought in the second best when we know he's the best, it's like you did that on purpose. That was done on purpose. That was a tea leaf that lended itself to that thing I'm talking about in regards to him not interested in making this a pleasurable situation for Kyrie at all. No intention of re-signing him either, at all. And the fit doesn't really fit at all. And so it's one of those situations where I truly believe that Joe Tsai sent Kyrie to Dallas to punish him. No different than he did all the other stuff he's been doing to punish him. This was a punishment. And I feel like that little statement just pointed in the direction of that being a tea leaf for me to see in that way. It really is. And so, like, you bring a guy to a situation where you know he's going to have to be with a ball handler. You know he's going to probably have to stand on the sideline while this guy is dribbling. And you already establishing in your pecking order that you want Luka to be the dribbler because you believe he's a better ball handler, which he's literally not. So that right there is just, it's the type of stuff that, I'm going to be honest with you, Mark. This is hard for you to get free agents. And we look over the years at some of the players that have left your place and not returned or not being able to get talent. And I look at stuff like this and I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah. That's all I got to say is yeah. I understand that Jeannie did something similar, saying that Russell Westbrook was the best player on the team. She worded that wrong. She was talking about durability. She did not say that Russell Westbrook was the all-time leading scorer or something like that. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're not gonna go off and say nothing like that. And that's essentially what Mark did. He did something like that. Disrespectful, arguably. And if you know who you acquired, which you do, if you're Mark Cuban, you know who Kyrie is. Then you know that saying that ain't you establishing that Luka Doncic is the most important player in your organization, because everybody in their grandmama know that. Everybody in their grandma knows it's about Luka Doncic. Kyrie Irving is not changing that. But to disrespect the specific elite level of his skill set, which is what he hangs his hat on, being the greatest ball handler, that's one of the first things you're going to see on his resume. And for you to disrespect that, directly disrespect that with certain types of words, it just speaks to what they think of this person as they're bringing him to their organization. They would not have done that to most. If he just acquired, like, someone else, I don't want to put a name in there, but if he acquired another star that didn't have this attached to their names, it wouldn't be no second best nothing. You wouldn't hear that. You would word it a different way that would not leave you feeling as if he's being disrespectful. And so I just understand it. This is a good old boys club, man. These owners, it's a good old boys club. Like I said, it's a team. And they're about to embark on this collective bargaining situation against the players. So you best believe they're already in cahoots right now. This is why I don't like the business of all of this. I don't like it because it takes away from what you see on the floor. Now, we're talking about things other than basketball once again. So, I don't know, man. At this point in time, I hope it works out for Kyrie Irving in the sense that he's able to get his bag from somebody and his years from somebody. But I know this league and the way they're operating, they're known for blackballing people that they don't agree with and people who have this going on. They are known for it. But the problem is for them is I don't think they've ever had one this naturally gifted, this naturally a entertainer, to where it probably don't benefit you at all if you blackball him and he goes to, say, China and keeps doing what it is that he does at this level. That's a bad look for the league. Because he's going to be watched because of what he does. People are going to watch him elsewhere because of the elite level of what it is that he does, and the fact that no one else in the whole world does it as well as he does it in the way, with that particular thing. So it's like, that's a showman's trait. You see what I'm saying? That's a showman's trait. So if he were to take his showman's trait anywhere around the world, he would probably get a bigger bag than he even anticipates, based on how he operates with people and the way he moves in terms of energy. I think he'd probably be better in some other places. When I look at a guy who's making like $400 million in soccer overseas in like Saudi Arabia, you hear about homie, he made like $200 or something like that, 200 million or whatever, and they paid him something crazy. That's what I see for basketball in the future. You're going to be able to get those type of bags depending on how well you are able to entertain and how much they're willing to pay to build whatever leagues they're going to be building in the future. These folks are going to throw away a lot more money than the NBA because they have it like that. I see that coming. Soccer's just the beginning. Soccer's the beginning. And what's the other sport that the whole world loves? It's basketball. So a guy like Kyrie Irving, or a guy with the type of talent he has, should be able to go overseas and, in theory, be able to demand a record type of bag based on what it is he's actually going to be able to draw once people see what it is that he does. You know what I mean? If they've never heard of him, and if they already know who he is, it's even better, obviously. So that's what I know, man. A showman like that who can dribble like that, you ain't no second best. You're not second best at that. He may be second best in regards to the pecking order on that team. He may even be the second best player overall because Luka's on another level right now. But you ain't about to sit up here and say he's the second best ball handler on the Dallas Mavericks. How disrespectful you trying to be? The second best ball handler on the Dallas Mavericks in 2023 is what Kyrie Irving's supposed to be reduced to. Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know what's going on in the NBA right now. But if you're watching my videos, you know I don't like most of it. And this is just yet another example. Could just be a slip of the tongue. I slip of the tongue all day long. You guys know I misspeak more than I'd like to admit. But at the end of the day, when I'm trying to welcome in the greatest ball handler of all time, the last thing I'm trying to do is separate him from the guy we already got, who's not even as on his level when it comes to that particular thing. And given the whole circumstance, the whole way this looks, what they think of Kyrie Irving, as we've already talked about, versus what the environment they think they're going to send him to, and what position they think he's going to be in when he gets to that environment, and how they think he's going to act when he gets to that environment. This is yet another thing that's supposed to put a needle in the man to make him act all however. Or not. Maybe it's just a slip of the tongue. That's why I understand, man. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to mean it. When you're a black person and you speak unapologetically about things that position yourself against the status quo or what have you, however they approach this agreeable nonsense where black people get exploited for half of what it is they're worth, and it's supposed to be agreed upon, whatever that world is, and whoever's agreeable within that nonsense, they are not usually agreeable with people like myself and Kyrie Irving who want to throw stones at that. Who people want to wake that up, who want to wake you up, so to speak. They hate us because at the end of the day, they know we're going to disrupt their money. But they're going to make money in other ways. They always make money on the back end anyway. That's why I always say, like, even people who play the stock market also play options, so they make money when they miss money. That's why nobody's ever tripping about the stock market being bad, because most of those guys are playing options. So at the end of the day, the way I see it is this. Excellence prevails overall. Excellence. Excellence is most respected overall. Mike, unblemished record. He's most respected. LeBron James, done all kinds of stuff, but he's still fighting against the respect for Mike. That's a prelude to what we're going to be seeing. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And then we look around and we see little games like this going on. It's like, doesn't that actually result in the type of competition certain players have to go up against, and certain type of teams that players end up playing on, because players and owners be having different little things that have to take place in order for this conglomerate to all walk in lockstep. This is what the whole conversation is about. This is what the whole channel has been about all week. It's just like, you know what? Maybe I'm just barking up the wrong tree. Maybe people are just slipping of the tongue and I'm just looking at it from a crazy perspective. But I do not honestly think there's nothing to see when I know they're trying to punish this dude. And the first thing the owner says when he gets here is something extremely disrespectful. First thing. The environment created. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching.